I'm Stephen Taylor here with Mary Lou Newbold. Hello, Mary Lou. How are you doing today?
Hello, Dr. Taylor. Always a pleasure to be here.
I'm sure. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Well, the Seahawks certainly played better this week, defeating the Giants a mere 38-17.
Yeah, well, it took them till the second half to get rolling, but they came out of the dressing room ready to win. That's all that matters.
Yeah, and it was good to see Max Unger and Russell Okung back. Their presence certainly helped the offense.
Yes, but now we've lost Luke Wilson and Brendan Mebane. They're out with injuries, so the team's still missing some key players.
It's been tough to keep everybody healthy this week
It has.
here. Okay, we got lots of exciting things to talk about, but do you have anything to ask about eyes this week?
I just might. Thanks for asking. Now the daylight savings time is here, and it's getting darker a lot earlier in the day. Driving up today, it was dusk around about 4:30, and you mentioned how much you dislike driving at that time of day. So I know we've discussed this before, but can you remind our Facebook friends as to why our vision can be so challenging at dusk?
That is a good question, and it was a beautiful drive up, but you know, it is more difficult to drive at that time of the day. In fact, that's one of the higher times of the day for having accidents between right at dusk and at dawn. There's about a 20-30 minute period of time between at dusk and dawn when it goes from light to dark or from dark to light. And there are some light receptors at the back of the eye that we call rods and cones.
Really?
The cones work better in the daytime and the rods work better at night. And there's kind of a photochemical process that occurs at the back of the eye at dusk or dawn where one type of receptor is kind of shutting down a bit and the other one starts working and becoming more sensitive.
Huh. Well, thanks. As usual, very interesting. All sounds very complicated.
It actually is really complicated, but the point that we have to remember here is that we need to be more alert while driving during dusk and dawn because our eyes just simply aren't as visually sensitive during those times. It's easy to miss things, and that's why there are more accidents.
Okay. Well, I'm hoping someone else out there just learned something because I know I sure did.
Well, we take a lot of things for granted, including our vision. That's one of the reasons why it's important to get our eyes checked on a regular basis. Anyway, the fun stuff. Back to the game.
Sounds good to me. So, Marshawn Lynch had 4 touchdowns.
Only.
And you'll have to think of someone else for your favorite play of the game because I'm going to take him this week.
I'm crushed.
Get over it.
Well, it isn't too hard to get over because we had Richard Sherman tipping that ball. And then we had Earl Thomas. Yeah, we had Earl Thomas catching it, running. I thought he was going to make it all the way.
So did I.
It was reminiscent of the conference final last year.
Yeah.
Great. And what did you say your favorite play was again?
Well, Marshawn Lynch, he had 4 touchdowns. Really? I have nothing else to say.
Is that a promise?
No.
Oh, all right. Okay. Well, you know, it was a really great game, and Marshawn Lynch was absolutely outstanding.
He was.
The whole team played well, and it was actually, I think, a franchise record for rushing.
It was?
It was a good game. We all enjoyed the game.
We did.
Yeah.
So the team's off to Kansas City next Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
I understand Kansas City, next to Seattle, is the loudest stadium. So our Hawks need to be really well prepared. It's going to be a tough game.
It will be. And then we're back in Seattle at the end of the month to play the Cardinals, who lost their quarterback today for a season-ending injury. Needless to say, they're going to be a tough team to beat. It's a grueling schedule for the rest of the season.
It is. You know, I can't believe that we're talking about it, but we're halfway through November and Santa's warming up his sleigh.
It's a painful thought.
Well,
before we start thinking about that, we better get a couple of wins under our belt.
Yeah, I agree with that. And with that, I think this might be a good place to wrap up our podcast. So, I'm Mary Lou.
And I'm Steven.
Go Hawks!
Go Hawks.
Seahawks!